Can I catch me in your city with a clique of niggas with me? Couple bitches getting tipsy, celebrating cause we winning, we on.
What is up, everybody? My name is Matthias, and today I will be doing the long-awaited intro tutorial, how to make 2D intro. So I've already inserted my song and put the keyframes on where I want the sync. I've also made this logo pretty quickly, so you already have to have your text to make this intro. Other things you will need is the Sapphire plugins, Magic Bullet looks, and if you want nice motion blur, you could also use RSMB. However, it will make your render time pretty long. So I chose this song. So basically right here is going to be the beginning. I have a general idea on how I want the intro to look, and right here we will have a swipe going from this direction or maybe this direction, we'll see. So I'm going to start off by making a circle and making the fill somewhat color like this, and press Ctrl Alt Home to center it and like center the access point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 200 or 250. Yeah, 250 is okay. I'm going to put this on like 10 frames because that makes it easier to it's just easier in general. This will take around 30 frames or half a second. I'm working in 60 FPS, that's why. Press F9 to easy is it, and pull this one to the left so it will go fast and then go slower. And I'm going to make this start right here. And this can be 10 frames faster. I'm going to make this drop down and then a sort of explosion that goes like to the upper side, and then there will be the text with some sync. So pretty easy to make. Uncheck this and set a keyframe right here, and then around here make this one like, yeah, 210 should be okay. Then set a position keyframe right here, and make the position all the way down. I know it looks pretty weird right now, but we are going to make it better by doing it like this, and then it will go fast. So again, the same on this side. The side has to go fast. We can delete this, I think, and just make this smaller. We don't really have to. This has to be a little bit faster. And I think the ball is a little bit too big. Let's just make this back to 250 and make this right here. And right here it is in the middle between this point where it started and where it needs to end. So in this point we are going to make it smaller. Sorry if I'm rambling a bit, make it around 150. Let's take a look. This has to be all the way to here, and this has to be all the way to here. Oh. Actually, we don't really want this keyframe now that I'm looking at it. And right here it already has to be pretty big, like small, thin. So make this 100. And let's make it 200 instead of the 250 because it's a bit too big. As you can see, it has like a bit, but it's not really that much. So what we could do is make this right here. Or right here. Yeah. So you can already see it. It's a little bit too much. So making intros, it's just a bit of a hustle, to be honest. What you want to do is right here press Ctrl+Shift+D and delete this part just for faster rendering. And again the same on this part. Ctrl+Shift+D. And this can be a little bit longer like this, and this can start already right here. And again we have to move this one a bit like this maybe. So we will have fast and slower. And maybe we could do the same with the size. I think that would look pretty good. Right here it has to be like it has to be pretty flat. Yeah. I don't really like it. Yeah, this has been going on for way too long. I'm just going to do, whatever I do now is going to be the result. Yeah, okay. Luckily it was okay. Oh, that wasn't really what I planned to do. Anyway, so now we basically have the first sort of transition. I am going to add an effect called Venetian blinds. It basically makes these gaps between the lines, and I'm going to put this on 40. This should be pretty cool. Yeah. Now I'm going to make a pen tool. So I like to open the proportional grid for this. Or no, I have a better idea. Make a circle. Delete this. Just make it non-existent, and make it pretty bright, something like this. And just make circle, Ctrl+Alt+Home, and center it again. We don't really need this right now. And make this a little bit bigger, just so you have the size that you would want it to be. Something like this, because we are going to make it loop around this circle. So make the size at least 200. Make it, because it's 30, so 215, and it should be perfectly around the sides. And what we are going to do now is go to stroke and make this round gap. Now click on add, trim paths, make this 0, go to right here, click on end, and go pretty far up, something like this. And again do the same for this, set a keyframe, go 10 keyframes further, and you have this. Now this isn't really smooth, so we are going to just make it a little bit more smooth, you know. Drag these to the side. it's not really that smooth still, so we are going to grab these and drag them a little bit further. And we are going to click offset and right here make this around 90. I'd say 90 would be good, so it will keep rotating. And this again ends right here. Again, just cut these ends. By the way, I'm sick, so that's why I'm sniffing so much. Again, go to the size and add 30. Or is it more? This should be good enough. And make this color a bit brighter. Something like this. And again, size. Make this fit right around it like this. Make it again a bit brighter. And now we should have something that looks already pretty good. Make it fit up to 100%. Let's make another one. Again, the size, and let's make this one almost white, and again like this. And now we are going to offset each and every one of these just by one keyframe. This shouldn't take too long. Now they should end all at this, like not at the same time, and that's kind of what I want. Like the last one to go last, yeah. Okay, now we have this. We are going to make a lot more sort of moving things around it. We are going to make a eclipse tool, get this to nothing, and make it a pretty dark color, something like this. I like to use the sapphire plugins. Wait, what? Why can't I? Oh, I wanted to make, like, double click this to fill your whole composition. We are going to go to circle, swipe circle. And what we are going to do is, once it hits this, wait, get this on top, go to the, what happened? Oh my god, sorry for the stuttering. So basically, get your axis center all the way to right here. And basically this will make it sort of explode, I guess. Press Y% and go about 20 keyframes further, make this 0, press U and F9 this. Then what you've got to do is again make it smooth. I like it like this. Press Ctrl Shift D again. This can be a little bit faster, so it basically, like right in the middle, so it has to start at 50 and end at 10, yeah. Now we have a pretty basic intro already. Okay, So now we are going to make this a little bit more complex by adding a sort of explosion. And we are going to grab a rectangle tool, make this white, fill the whole composition, make the rectangle buff around 25 and make this 0. Click your keyframe, go up to 45 and press another keyframe, and then right here make it something 200 should be good. Then the position, click right here and pull it up pretty far, minus 420, blaze it, yeah. So now we basically have a sort of animation. Again, press F9 and we are almost done, I would say. The size, it should go like this, and this one should go like this. It's not really that smooth, and the way we are going to fix this is by pulling this a little bit further back. Again, too much. Again, too much. This is literally just playing around with the keyframes. This is a little bit too much. Let's take a look. It sort of like goes away, and I don't really like that. So what we are going to do is we are going to make the position, grab this like this and like this, so it will go slow, fast, slow, but it should be right here. It sort of bounces back. I think we have the animation. Yeah, this is good enough, I'd say. Make a repeater, and we are going to add 4, or no, make it 8. Then make this 0, 0, and this is the rotation, right? Yeah, make this 360 divided by 8, and now we have a explosion. It looks pretty nice, however I'm not really happy with this part, so we are going to edit this a bit and make the position maybe a bit further. It's good enough. So just add the composition again. Where it ends, press Ctrl Shift D, delete it, and right here we are going to add the explosion. Oh, I'm going to make this a little bit faster. We already have a pretty basic intro. Another thing we are going to do is make this rotate. Just press R on your keyboard. R, not T for transparent. Anyway, make this 45 and it should rotate. And we are also going to go to this circle right here, and we are going to keyframe the direction. So just go to the beginning of the circle and click the direction, press U, and right here it has to be like this. And then whilst it's falling down, it should go a bit like this. And again press F9, and we are going to make this one fast, and we are going to make this one go slower. Or, I mean, the different sides, yeah. And this one should be a little bit more. It should be something like this. And again, this one also a bit more. We are going to save this right now a bit, and what we are going to do is copy this one, zoom in a bit, because we are going to put this one keyframe faster, and we are going to make this fill white. So we basically have this explosion. And with the CC, this will make more sense in the end. I know it looks a bit weird right now, but it will look good. I think this is still a bit too blank, so we are going to add a few more pen tools to this. Basically, we zoom in a bit and make sure nothing's selected, and just hold shift and click, and then we are going to go up to here and again hold shift and drag. We are going to make both of these one side long, and make the fill nothing, and the stroke make it sort of a darkish color. Now we are going to try and make it look a bit better. Just drag it above, no, under the circle, and let's make it transparent again. Make the shape. We are going to work on the shape. Make the paw, make this go all the way right up to the edge. This should be good. And again, the same for this side. This side is, in my opinion, the most important. This should be, this should make it like pretty good. Get rid of the proportional grid, fill it back up to 100%. Now we are going to add a trim paths again, and when the circle is right here, so it's basically on its max height, no, not even, just the circle has to be there. Set a keyframe, go around 30 keyframes further, and 5 keyframes for this, and 5 keyframes right here. Again, press F9, we go easy ease it again. It's a bit too fast, and this could go a few keyframes earlier, and this a few keyframes later. Still a little bit too fast. We can make this go all the way up to 3 if we want to. Okay, now we are going to copy paste this, rotate it 180 degrees, so we have the same on the other side. And again, we are going to cut these just for the ease. Again, on this side as well. Just cut these two, Ctrl Shift D, delete this and delete this. You see now there's getting some depth to it. We are going to copy the circle itself, and to this side we are going to delete it, and we are going to make it a pretty light color, something like this. But we are going to go to S for sides and make this 80. So we basically have the circle inside of this circle, and as you can see it falls behind a little bit, but that shouldn't be too big of a problem. Okay. Again, right here it's a bit too empty, so we are going to move all of these a little bit more to here. Or no, it's actually pretty good if it's a bit empty. Okay, now we already have the basic animation, and now we are going to start working on the logo as well. We are going to press Ctrl Shift D and make it something like this. Add an effect called transform. This comes with your After Effects, so you don't have to worry about that. And we are going to copy this, paste it above, and make this alpha matte. So normally it should, yeah, it does work. Make this the keyframe later, so you basically have it like this, and make this fit with all of that. And once it comes in the screen like the keyframe before it, just make it on 50 already, click the scale, and right here make it a bit smaller, something like 70. Just press U to view the keyframes, make it 15, yeah, or 30, and press F9 and drag this key like this bar all the way to the left. Now we have a pretty basic intro already, and we made this in around 30 minutes, so but it's not done yet. We are going to make a moving background. By the way, cut everything right here so we don't have too big of a file thingy. Press Ctrl N and name this background. This is where the biggest shapes of your intro will take place. Make this 0. Now we go to here, copy the background color and make this the same background. Now we are going to add some shapes, and with these shapes we will basically animate them to the beat. So make the fill, I like to use white and put the transparency lower. So we are going to use circles, why not? And press Ctrl Alt Home, make this to the top right here, and click this symbol and make it around 100. Depends on how big you want it, and make this 10. So we have a small circle, and add a repeater. Make the repeater like 30 or less, and make the position 200. So you'll have some space between the circles, and again add another repeater and make this a little bit less, and make this 0 and this 200, or make this and make this 50. So we basically have a sort of a diagonal spaced thingy. Press B, click the keyframe and go all the way to the last, and make the position a little bit further, something like this. More. I want it to have a lot of sync. This isn't even enough. You want it to go pretty fast because you won't really see it move that much once we remap the time. This is still too slow. Something like this. Yeah, this is I think enough, like fast enough. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. So insert the background above this layer, and the different, like, make this under this layer and click alpha matte. So it will basically only have anything that's displayed on this layer will display on this layer, is the best way to explain it. Again, delete this part. What happened? Oh yeah. Put this under here, and you should have exactly the same as I have right now. This shouldn't become wide. Make this a bit longer. Yeah, okay. So now we are going to do one of the most important things to make your intro look nice. Go to time remapping. This can make your intro look so nice, and I don't see that many people use it. Press the diamond symbol to create a keyframe. Go to all the keyframes on your song, like the beat drops, and click the diamond symbol. Okay, and again go to the end right here and set another diamond. Now this doesn't mean anything yet because we haven't eased it yet. So press F9, go to the graph editor, and go to value instead of speed. Sorry, I didn't tell you we were using the speed graph. Basically, zoom in a bit, like right here, so you can see almost every single line, and drag this one up and this one down. And for some of them it's a bit too much, and for others it's not enough at all. So we are going to drag this one a little bit down, as well as this one, and this one up, this one a bit more. Like, drag this circle thingy just like this. So basically it goes fast, slower, fast, slower, fast, slower. It has to go all the way to like this, like oh my god, I can't speak. So once you have all of this, it will slow down, go fast, slow down, go fast. You have to make sure it doesn't go back in time, because this might give you an error and you don't want this. So keep doing this for all of the time remaps, and once it's done, we should have a pretty nice looking background already. Okay, let me quickly look at it. As you can see, it moves fast and slower and fast and slower. Yeah, this is going pretty nice, I think. Let's just render it to the end. Yeah, this is nice, guys. This is really nice. Okay, what we are going to do now is we are going to make a few syncs. So make animations around the logo or text that sync up with the music. So be right back. I gotta go to the toilet real bad. Okay, so basically this is what we already have. So basically, right here I am going to make it zoom in a bit, and then right here I'm going to make the text all the way to the back. So zoom in a bit. This is at around 45 keyframes. So at 45, make this 80, go back 5 keyframes, and wait, delete this first, set a diamond, and again make this 80. Oh, so we have a zoom in, and then right here it has to be 50. Yeah, 50 would look nice. Make this on the 10th keyframe, so it's basically on sync. Make this again 82, and what we are going to do now is make this pull this down, pull this up, and it will make it look like it's doing what it's supposed to. I don't know, guys. And drag this all the way to here, drag this down, drag this up, something like this. And make this a little bit faster, as well as this one, and drag this around here and this around here. You want it to be sort of in sync. Okay. We are going to drag this way further, and this should still be like this. Is a bit too much, and make this something like this, so it will go fast and like it will keep going a bit back. Okay, now we are going to add a lot of pen tools to this intro. Let me save real quick and make a pen tool coming behind the text. We are just going to drag something like this and like this. This should be like this, and make this 35 should be good. Always have your stuff under your text. And what we are going to do now is drag this all the way to here, and we are going to animate this with a trim pots, and we are going to put the trim pots at 0. When it hits this, it has to be 100. And let's zoom in. This is at 50 and this is at 10. I don't think that's enough. No, it certainly is not. So drag this all the way up to 30. So no, 35. So it's pretty long. And right here 10 keyframes, and again here 10 keyframes, and press F9, Control Shift D, delete this, go to your graph editor, again go to speed instead of value, and put this all the way to the left. And we are going to pre-compose this. Ctrl Shift D right here, and it ends right here, and again Ctrl Shift D, copy this, rotate this 180 degrees. So we basically have this, and we are going to drag it a little bit further, because we can't really have it like this. Yeah, this is perfect. Fill it back up to 100%. Okay, and we basically have the first sort of animation. And we are going to make a pretty easy circle animation as well. Control Alt Home, make this centered again, put this under your text, and go to the size, make the size 0, go 30 keyframes, 40, and make the size pretty big, something like this, just around your text. Go to the stroke, make this 0, enter a keyframe, go all the way back to here, and get this off, I don't like this, and get this again back to 35, and let's ease these keyframes. Pretty easy stuff, you know. Everybody should know this who makes intros or doesn't. This is already pretty nice. And we are going to make some more advanced pen tools, but we are going to do this in a other composition because we are going to make these move with the time as well. So make a proportional grid and just drag something like this, then something like this, then something like this, and then something like this. Now we have a pretty weird looking curve-ish thing. But we are going to go to the stroke, make this round cap, and go to add, trim pots, and 0, and go to 0 keyframes. Go to around 130, make this 100. As you can see, it fills just up. We are going to go 30 keyframes further. Again here, 30 keyframes. Make this 100. Now F9 this, and don't select the offset. Drag this all the way up to here. And we should have a pretty nice animation. However, I think the line in general is a bit too long, so what we are going to do is we are making it a bit shorter. And make this a bit longer, because with a time remapping it might look a little bit different. Okay, pre-compose this as well, and paste this again, and just rotate this one 180 degrees. And now we have another sort of animation. Yeah. Just cut this again. And we are going to time remap this as well. Go to time remapping, add a keyframe right here, 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 and stretch this a bit, and add a keyframe right here. So again, this won't mean anything unless we easy ease it. Go to the value graph for this, and this shouldn't be too much, or else it will look pretty weird. Again, just the general drag up, drag down. And let's just make this look okay. Sorry for my voice, by the way. I'm sick, and I don't like being sick, and I have to go to school even though I'm sick. Nice. Okay, we basically have almost everything done for this part, I'd say. Just don't want this in screen. Put this all the way up, this down, this up, this down, this up, and this down. This is looking pretty nice. What we are going to do now is add two sort of these circles like you see right here, but we are going to make them pop like right here, because these things, they end basically. So just make a circle, Ctrl Alt Home, and move it so it's almost directly on here. Go to the ellipse path, make this 0, and go around right here. Make this 100, but make the stroke 0, and right here make this stroke 20. So you basically have a simple explosion. Again, let's easy ease this. Nothing out of the ordinary, but again, speed graph, and pull this all the way to the left. Now we are just going to pre-compose this, copy paste this, and rotate this 180 degrees. Then you should have nice explosions. And Ctrl Shift D, delete, and right here they end. So again, delete it where you have to, and drag this so it explodes. What I'm going to do in the background, I'm going to go to transparency and make this a bit less, make this 50. We are going to add a drop shadow to this as well, just to make it a little bit nicer. Make the drop shadow pretty far, something like this, so it sort of looks like 3D. You can sort of see it, I guess. And let's make this a light blue. Yeah, this will look nice. And let's pre-render again. Okay, so this is the compile thing. Yeah, press Ctrl Shift D and just delete it. So it looks like it just vanished into these sort of explosions. And let's make these start right here and this end right here. And I'm going to make another sort of pen toolish thing. And again, get these proportional grids. And we are going to make this 20, make it something like this, and like this, and like this, because why not? I don't really like it, don't worry. We don't even need this now. Just something like this, something like this, something like this. Yeah, this is pretty nice shape. Again, go to Contents, Shape 1, and Stroke. Again, make it a round cap. And go to Trim Paths. Make this 0. Go all the way up to 2 keyframes. I mean, 2 seconds. Make this 100. Go back to here. Make this at 20 a keyframe. and make this at 20 keyframe as well. Now again, we easy ease this. You don't actually have to do this, but I like doing this. So now we insert this comp right here. Again, look where it ends. Get rid of this. Ends at 220, or let's just make it end at 230, why not? And I'm going to make it start right here. But another thing I forgot is to pre-compose this one, copy paste this, and rotate this one 180 degrees. So again, we have a sort of a, you know, just shape, you know. Don't even question it. Again, let's go to time, time, and enable time remapping. Make this start right here. Add a keyframe, add a keyframe, add a keyframe, and add a keyframe, and of course add a keyframe. Now we are going to F9 these as well. Ah damn, why do I keep opening that? Again, value graph, zoom in a bit. You don't want to look at that because that makes it fucked up. We are just going to do this like we always do. Drag this one up, this one down. Wait, what? Just keep doing this until you have it time remapped. Same with this one. And this is, I think, the end. Yeah, it is. And again, just save it, so if your After Effects would crash, you would still have your files. We almost are done, actually. We are still going to add a few things, such as a explosion using a Trapcode plugin. You don't have to use this, it's just pretty nice. I create a new solid and add Trapcode. Just go down to Trapcode and add particular. This will make it so you have a explosion. I am going to make a pretty weird looking explosion. Make the velocity 2500 and now go to physics, air, and make air resistance a thing, something like this. So we basically have a explosion of circles right now, but these aren't really nice circles, so get spear, make this life 2, so it should die at 2 keyframes. Life random 0, Spear feather should be 0 as well, and the size and random size should be something like this. And we are going to make no, not that. We are going to make way more particles. So basically we have an explosion of a lot of circles. Size, I always like to have my size pretty big. Something like this, and make the opacity random 0 as well. And then go to opacity over life and go to presets and select this. So at 2 keyframes it should have already been gone. However, I don't really like this that much. Make the velocity random way more, and the velocity a bit more as well. Make this a little bit less. This is all about just playing around with these settings. Life should be a little bit less, should be 1.3. And now we are going to go to main comp. Did I just say main comp? I meant main comp. I don't know. Anyway, press Ctrl Shift D, delete it, and add this to the first drop, because that's always nice. And just drag it like this. And we can make the velocity a bit more. So velocity, something like this. So it basically goes all over the composition. And make the random opacity a little bit less. Make this 50. So now we almost have the intro. We are still going to add a bit of sync and add sorry, I have to sneeze. You are still going to add drop shadows to almost everything, because the drop shadows are really nice. So again, we can make it the invisible stuff, the transparency, we can make it transparent again. Go to drop shadow, make this right under here, and I like to have this on 20 and the distance a bit further. So we basically have a nice drop shadow now. This shape layer I'm added to this and to this, and I think I might add it to the under circle as well as the on top circle. I'm going to make the distance 0 and make the softness a little bit more, so we basically have sort of a shadow between the circles. Yeah, I'm going to make the drop shadow a bit more and get this on top of the Venetian blinds. This will look pretty weird right now, but it will look nice in the end, believe me. So make this around something like this. Make the softness way more. And make this a little bit less. Yeah, this will look nice. I'm not going to add a drop shadow to these because the CC will make it look nice. Again, just save, and we can close all of these except the main comp because we might work a little bit more at it once we have it done. So again, insert the main comp right here and add a composition, a adjustment layer. Go to a shake. If you don't have a shake, the tutorial is basically over for you right now. Okay, goodbye. Anyway, so right here, I'm going to give you my settings 3 and 1.5. Make this on, and this is 66, as well as the Y shake is also 66. No, I just leave the Y. And the Z shake, make the Z amplitude around 30. So we have a pretty nice shake, as well as the tilt shake. Make this around 3. So now we are going to keyframe these. Again, fill this up to 100%. Make the reflect no and no, but in the end we will fix this, don't worry. Then go one keyframe back, make this 0, press U, copy this and go to all of the keyframes where you need to place the sync. And on the last, don't do anything because then it will be the outro. We don't really want any sync in the outro now, do we? No, we don't. Zoom in a bit so we can see this better. Not too much, something like this, so we can see almost every single one of them. And basically just drag this all the way to the side and down. And now we should have a pretty nice S shake. It might be a little bit too much though, but we will see. Okay, it's a bit too much, but we can fix this. As you can see, we have a lot of transparent stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to also add a transform sync around 120, and again set a keyframe right here and go back and make this 100, and press U and do the same, just copy paste it on every single one of those keyframes, I guess. And on the last, just make it 100 again. This way we will have it zoom in also, as well as the S shake, and I actually really like that. Maybe because I was a 3D motion designer. But it actually looks nice most of the time. Yeah, this is actually really nice. It might be a little bit too much, but I don't actually mind. We can easy ease this as well. Again, select every single one of your keyframes and do it like this. This way it will look like you have less zoomed in, whilst you actually don't. Okay, another thing we are going to add to get rid of those annoying little line thingies, we are going to add motion tile to this. Get the motion tile on top of here, make this 200 and this 200, and mirror edges on. This way it is going to reflect, but it's a better reflect than in the S shake itself. So remember that, guys, remember, it's very important. I really hope I didn't fuck up my mic, because if I did, sorry, it won't happen again. Okay. Okay, now we are going to add the ending, and we are going to add the CC, as well as RSMB. So ending plus CC and blur, and we are going to add the sync, and it was at 6. Right here. So what we are going to do is we are going to make a composition like this, get this off, and make the fill completely white, and fill it up. Now we are going to make this really big, and click the rotation, make this around 4, something like this, and the P for position, and get this right here. Now, as you can see, it's around 5, so we are going to use 15 keyframes, and just do the same as I do, just like this. And then we should have a really nice ending effect. Okay, we are going to F9 this, as we usually do. Ctrl Shift D, delete this. Press U, and we are going to go to the speed graph and make it go fast, slow to fast, or fast. No, we need it to go fast to slow, not slow to fast. Okay, we are going to copy this and get this under here and make this alpha invert. So basically what this will do normally is, or make it alpha, or no, it's the other way around. Make this one alpha alpha invert. So basically if it's not on this, it's weird to explain, you don't even understand. Basically what it does is, if it's not on this layer, it is on this layer, but yeah, that's basically the best way to describe it. I can't describe it in another way, I'm sorry. But we basically have it, so that's the only thing that matters right now. I think I'm going to add some black bars, so new, solid, make it black, and CC jaws. Then make the width, make the height 0 and make this around 80. And this will make your intro so much nicer. And basically you want to, on this keyframe, you want to put it 80, and 10 keyframes back you want to put this at 100. Now you will have some black bars, and the black bars are lit, fam! The rendering is going pretty fast, what kind of is weird, but once I add RSMB I'm going to set the resolution to quarter instead of full. Also, I think I'm going to edit this tutorial, even though it's only 1 hour and 17 minutes, what isn't actually a lot for a intro tutorial, if I'm honest. I expected it to be at least 2 hours. But you know, it's not that hard to make 2D intros at all. A lot of people think it's like rocket science, whilst it's actually pretty easy, as I showed you right here. You just need to make a lot of stuff and repeat a lot of the same techniques. Anyway, it's almost done rendering. And then we are going to add DCC plus RSMB. Okay, so let's add another adjustment layer. Go around right here and magic bullet looks. I'm not the best at CCs, however, I think I know how to make a good looking one. Also, don't tap out once you're in here, because it will fuck you up real time. I have a better idea. We are going to make the CC in the sync, because if we put it above our black bars, it will look weird as fuck. Believe me. Just start off by going to subject and putting your contrast a bit higher. Like not too much, but just a bit, so you can see a bit of the difference. Then add a crush and make this less, like way less. This will make everything a little bit more that color. Now add pop. Pop is something really nice. As you can see, it makes like, it gives it depth where there isn't a lot of depth. So I suggest putting this on around 30. This should look really nice, in my opinion. Another thing we might add is exposure if your intro is a bit too dark, but it really isn't. So add a diffusion and make the size a bit bigger, and the diffusion and the grade make this lower. So this is mainly on the whites. Now another diffusion and make this diffusion blue. Make the size like way less, make something like this, and the grades also way less, and the glow you can put this all the way up if you want to. And make the highlights only pretty something around this. And I'm going to make it a bit more to the white, and the grade also a little bit lower. So you have another sort of diffusion, and we might add a third diffusion, make this one really big, and make the rate also pretty low. So we basically have these 3 diffusions. Without the diffusions, it looks not that nice. We can add another diffusion, make the size again way less, and put the grade on really low. This will make like the things that aren't really that saturated more saturated. Add a warm cool and make it to the color. Like if you want to, you could make this something like this, but don't make it too much because it will affect the whites too. Now we are going to add a color filter and make this again. It sort of works like Crush, but it doesn't work that much on the whites. Like it's weird. It's really weird. So make this something like this. Another thing a lot of people like is light flex. I don't use it in 2D. In 3D I really suggest using it, but in 2D no. Now add a vignette and make the strength around 50 and add a edge softness. Drag this something like this and make this way bigger and make this way smaller and make the blur size only 1.5. So you'll have a pretty small blur around the edges. And add a lens distortion and make this around -4. So no, don't add this, it will look bad, believe me. Film grain, I always add film grain because it adds a lot of texture to your intro, and make the amount only 1. This will give it like a subtle texture. And now we are going to go to camera. Some people like using neck bleach. It makes it more silver white-ish. And right here we are going to add a S-curve, and basically only a little bit of this S-curve, like this much. And now add a range HSL, and I want this, for instance, if I wanted this to be more purple, I could do this. If I wanted these colors to be more gray, I could do that. But I want this intro to be a little bit more to this side, and this side a little bit more to this side, I think. Does this look good? It's a bit too much. So the hue lightness, we'll make this a little bit less, and this also, no, I don't like this. You could use this if you want. I'm not going to use this in this intro. So we basically have everything for this CC, except I think this should be a bit to the blue and a bit more like this, like right here. What we could do is, because it's pretty bright, we could add a exposure, but make the exposure minus a bit. So we'll basically have the color again. And doesn't this look better? It looks better in my opinion. So let's look at it with the CC. I'm going to render it at 1/4 because I don't want to wait. It's a bit too, I don't know. Let's work on the CC for a bit more, because it's a bit dark. I think we should delete the exposure, and we should make this pop a little bit bigger, as well as this pop a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's way better. That's way better. Now let's look at it again. Yeah, I really like this CC for some reason. I know it's a lot of glow, but I actually like this. Okay. Okay. Again, save it, and we are going to render it at 1/2 because I want to take a better look at the CC. progress is real. Okay, so basically the intro is done. Now I'm just going to add RSMB and I'm going to render it. I'm going to give you my RSMB settings, but let's look at it without RSMB because I won't pre-render it with RSMB. Doesn't that look nice? It looks really nice. I know. So for RSMB, all I basically do is I add RSMB, of course. And what I do then is I put this on 10.35 and I put this at 80. So RSMB will make your render time way longer, but it will look so nice. Believe me. I'm still going to pre-render it, don't worry guys. No, I won't. So I want to thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you've learned something, be sure to thumbs up this video and maybe subscribe if you are new. I will upload weekly tutorials from now on, going more in depth to stuff. And yeah guys, goodbye.